Welcome to the Collins Talk Show, and today is yet another beautiful day with a lot of vibrant youth, beautiful and handsome men and ladies. Yes. We are glad to be on your screen, and like always, we have content for you that is going to enrich you, enlighten you, and help you grow in all aspects of life. Today we're going to talk about a wide range of things, and welcome. Feel free to share this link to the people that are watching. If you've stopped by and it's your first time, please remember to subscribe. And I'm going to go straight away to our introductions. My name is Shifra, your host, and we will start with the ladies.
My name is Felicia Arudo.
You're welcome, Felicia.
Thank you.
I'm Ludi Merrill.
You're welcome, Ludi. Some names are the ones of us that do not have L and R distinction. We can easily confuse. But yes, welcome, Ludi.
Thank you. My name is Elaine Boyd.
Elaine. Yes. Boyd. Not bait. Boyd. Yes.
My name is Dennis Ogweno.
Yes, welcome, Dennis.
My name is Kevin Kipron.
Welcome. So all of these are friends of ours, and we are glad and delighted to have you all here at this show. And as we go on, the very first thing we are going to talk about, we all know maybe that we are in the mental health awareness month. Yeah? Do we all know that the men on the panel today?
Are you aware?
You have witnessed. You're not being a part of it. Yeah, so what is mental health awareness to you like? Has it been that much prioritized in Kenya, especially our country here? Do you think that mental health for men has been prioritized as much as the other aspects of health? Feel free to pick it up. Let's start with the men, since it is.
Yeah, so that they might not misunderstand us. Yeah, so I feel the aspect of mental awareness for men has not been prioritized in Kenya. Simply because a lot is expected of men. Not only in Kenya, but in our tradition. I mean, you need to man up. See, hata mtu akitembea usiku alafu aogope, anajiambia mimi ni mwanaume. Ukiwa mwanamke unafaa usaidiwe. Lakini kama wewe ni mwanaume, you need to help yourself. So,
nice, yeah. I like that, yes.
I kind of have something to add on that. Mental health is not a new concept, but it's a new concept on the lips. As in, when you're tunaongea siku hizi, it's kind of a new concept. So embracing it at the same time, encouraging people to be like open about it, has become a challenge to everyone. Si men peke yake. So I feel that is also a challenge. Adding to those Kipron said.
Okay, to the ladies, you know these days we they say ladies have all days to celebrate. They have Mother's Day, they have Sisters Day, they have Girls Day. So what do you think about this kind of notion that we've created? Do we actually have the men's health at heart, or we are just blindly going on with empowering ourselves and loving ourselves? Tunasema self-love. So do you think that is in some way affecting how we relate with these gentlemen?
I wouldn't think that the whole idea behind mental health awareness among the men is something for our own benefit. In essence, we live in a society where our actions do not affect you as an individual. It spreads
to the people
around you. So making sure that the guy, the boy, the man who is next to you is okay mentally I wouldn't perceive it as a selfish act. And in as much as it, like Dennis said, it's a new concept. I feel it's something that we only hear and speak about, but don't really
Embrace it.
embrace it for what
And
it
own
really
it.
is. Yes, exactly. We don't really own it and make it a part of everyday life. Because honestly, how many times would you actually go to your male friend or your brother or your anyone
Son.
or your son and you go and ask them, how are you, how have you been? Like, really, don't tell me you're okay in the in the context of everyday courtesy. I'm fine, I'm good, life kupambana. No, like, how are you? Like, we don't really get to embrace it for what it really is.
Okay. Anything to say, Ruby?
Yeah.
Rudy, not Ruby. Yes.
It's okay. I think she's even touched on what I had in mind, and it's something that has been disturbing me because we cry a lot, mental health, and it's usually at the point where something has happened.
A crisis.
Yes, but now we have a crisis. That's when people remember, oh, we're supposed to have mental health, check up on our friends, especially the guys, because guys can cry alone and they will never speak about it, not even to their closest girlfriends.
They actually are not even advised to cry. They say men
Yeah.
don't cry, so how do you start crying?
Unfortunately. and besides even ignoring, you can ignore a message and then you can stimulate, like you can worsen the situation. And that happens in our surrounding, in that there's this still African notion that men should be what he said. So we still put that pressure. You expect assuming it's a relationship, you expect your boyfriend to do this, to do that, and then ikifika siku ya mental health, no. So by the way, but you are the one instilling the depression. So as she said, we've not embraced it, and it's something that we are doing more of talking than action.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to you, Felicia.
I bear the same thoughts with Kiprono. What he mentioned about the responsibility placed upon the African man. Yeah, I think when a man decides to marry, the responsibility of the wife and the parents, the children, are all on him. So I think there's also a lot of pressure on their side, and probably they may never have someone to turn to because he will not see himself as a full man if he would go to another friend to be exposing issues of his family. And probably the wife has her own issues and the children all look up to him, so probably they may never really have someone to talk to or to really express themselves. So
Which shouldn't be the case, because like when the Bible says when a man finds a wife, they find a good thing, it should feel good, a good thing should feel good. But literally what we are seeing is we are not seeing the good that these men are getting in the wives. Do you think somehow we as ladies have so much impacted on the men's health, especially when it comes to relationships and marriage life?
yes, I think so. As Ludi had mentioned, we at times are the ones who are causing depression to the men because we have expectations. A man should do this, a man should provide, a man should do this.
Check up on you 5 times a day.
They should be
Yeah, I think we have expectations.
Even when we actually can do some of these things by ourselves,
we have expectations.
we still put the pressure on
On the
them
men.
so that they can do something. All right. So we will move fast forward. I'm going to ask a very general question. Since you were born as a child and now to the youthful stage, have you ever gotten an opportunity, either be it your parents, your friends, your teachers in school, your lecturers right now, have you ever gotten an opportunity to understand what mental health is actually, without just talking about mental health and mental health awareness day, having to know what mental health actually entails? Have you ever been sat down by your parents and they tell you this is mental health? Mental health affects us this way, and tell you about mental health?
Yeah, actually, I can say on my personal experience, I have never had such a conversation from my parents.
That is
because
I relate with that.
yeah, you see, you view your dad and mom as these people who are responsible for your well-being, but then they don't come to your emotions or to your feelings. Like they cater for you, like they buy for you everything that will make you think that it suits you. But then maybe you have a problem that they can never know. Actually, I've had problems that my parents don't know even today. Yeah, but then by them doing those good things, paying for, like you are trying to explain to your parents that you have such a problem. Alafu anakuambia si mimi huwa your work is to study. Yeah, and bring the best. So maybe even you have an academic challenge you are not passing, but the parent comes to school very bitter and he wants to cane you seriously. You're wasting my school fees. But then he does not understand what went on in school. Like for example, me in high school, I really used to be like, there was a teacher, unaona kabisa huyu mwalimu anakuonea. Yani anawapata kwa makosa hivi, anasema all of you go.
Except you are too.
Yeah, so it really tortured me. So yeah, but then my father is a teacher. So the teachers of those days, yeah, and their children, you can relate how tough it is.
Wow.
Yeah, but I thank God of late. Yeah, I think maybe I'm becoming of age. Yeah, we can sit down and talk something. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
To the ladies, have you ever gotten that chance of talking to either your mom, your sister, your friend about mental health to the deeper extent, not just celebrating the months?
For me, I would say I have been very fortunate to have my mom be very personal. Like she comes down to my level, and these are things we talk about daily. She will call at a random time and she'll be like, are you okay? Are you feeling? How are you feeling? I want you to be very open about how you're feeling. And my mom has successfully been able to create an environment where I know that no matter what happens, I have a safe space in her. I can always confide in her, no matter what is going on in my life. So I don't get to feel like I get to hear a lot of people say how, your work is to go to school and study. My mom will tell me, ukifika leo usikie masomo imekata, you will find something.
Wow, I would want your brother to be my mother 1,000 times. That day you feel like even when you fake a sickness, have you ever faked a sickness? Because somehow you were bullied at school and you fake a stomach ache and your mother is like, no, drink water and go. Those are some of the things I think our parents have. I think it's an African notion that mental health is, the way we view mental health is mtu mwenye akona shida ya kichwa, or somebody that is mentally ill is that person that is throwing stones, that is walking around naked. But when actually we get to see this mental health as an aspect, almost all of us have gotten to a point where we have a mental illness. It could have been an emotion that took you low. It could have been an emotion, because mental health goes just not from the low point, but even to the extremes where somebody is just always happy. Like a flying person and you're laughing. Hey, So some of these things we have not really, I feel we have not really gotten to understand them. And maybe it could be that our parents do not actually understand the magnitude of mental health and probably the different sectors in mental health for them to come in and how to come in. So taking it from there, do you feel in any way, because I mean we have breast cancer awareness, we have prostate cancer awareness, we have all these things. I feel there is a loop that is too big on mental health, not only for the men, but for the general people. Do you think that the Ministry of Health and Education as well have done their part to integrate mental health for people to know mental health as a priority right away from childhood as we grow on? Because I tend to think we go to school and learn about Anopheles mosquitoes, they cause malaria, then we talk about cholera, then we talk about very many other diseases that are more to the physical, but I have never in my books written about mental health until I went to now specialize in a course where I could now look at mental health as a health unit, as part of the unit. Do you think that there could be something that could be done, or what is your thought on that?
Okay, I think the curriculum should invest in mental health awareness, because basically 844 did not, we are not sure of CDC. It has a lot of controversies, so I guess things like mental health awareness right now, these are the topics that the government is thinking that the parents are catering for. And then the parents think that the school is for us. Yeah, it's the same question we discussed somewhere about sex education. The parents think the school is doing it.
We were actually to talk about sex education today.
Yeah. So probably I'm going ahead.
No, you're okay. You're doing
yeah,
well.
So basically that is what everyone does not want to touch on those aspects.
I feel like sex education, okay, you could give it a benefit of doubt, because I mean everybody is shy of getting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to use that word, but everybody is shy of talking about things the way they are.
Yes.
But mental health, I mean, this, you're looking at the brain and the emotions of why is it so hard? Why do we feel like it's so hard to talk about mental health?
I kind of have something to say. Education as itself, as it is, it's let's talk about the curriculum. It's structured on success, and by success I mean masomo.
Exactly.
Books, success.
So when you're not that successful, it starts from there. When you're not that successful, you are kind of stressed. What are you going to do? You're going to disappoint your parents. Then there comes the other part of it. You want to do other things extra than like not having your own free time. You could relax too. You always reading. Now that contributes a huge lot to your mental. Most of the time you'll be stressed. If you're always reading, your only friend is Isaac Newton, and that's going to go a far way. So I really feel like we should, what can be done is that people should be told it's okay not to be book smart. It's okay to be social smart. In that sense, I mean, you're good with people, you're good with other things apart from books. That in matters of education.
That's a nice point. I feel like there is a lot in that point, you know. When he was talking, I was thinking of some of the things that are actually leading to youths not being able to relate well, be it relationship-wise, where it is boy and girl or female and male, or even the general relationships, how we relate with our parents, how we relate with our friends. It's basically because education has made us feel like we are sufficient for ourselves. I mean, if you're smart, then you can do it. You know, like, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. There is nobody else that can, you know, and yet we forget that no one is an island. We need each other to continue balancing up our life situations. Yeah, so over to you, the ladies. he touched about something about sex education. What do you feel about sex education? Do you feel like sex education is one of the reasons as to why we have the lack of the loop in sex education is one of the reasons as to why we have some of the problems of mental health that we have right now? I want to give a scenario. For example, the time that a lady starts their menstruation period, there is a lot that goes on in their lives, and sometimes it comes with shame because we have not been talked to about what is happening in our bodies at this time. So do you feel like somehow that has an impact on how our mental state will be?
Yeah, I personally feel that would be a big chunk of what causes depression in some people. Because, depression, some part of depression comes from not knowing.
Yeah.
You feel now left out also. Everyone else knows and you don't know.
So if you're a failure, in other words.
In short, you're a failure. And sometimes you're even pushed now to explore for yourself, which is even more disastrous. Because now you can't assuming in the case of sex education, your parents told you something as vague as wachana na vijana.
Don't come home pregnant.
Yeah, no, don't come home pregnant. You know how vague that is. And so you won't come home pregnant, but you'll go outside and you'll just continue living with your boyfriend. And now it's shameful because they told you the end and they didn't tell you the process. Like they told you the consequence and they didn't tell you why the sin is bad. Or they told you, they just left you, for example, to go through all these changes by yourself. For example, let me use something so foolish.
It's okay.
You are told in high school puberty includes growing hips and breasts. You are in Form 3.
Selective to some people.
You're asking yourself, kwani am I abnormal? Yeah. There's some time, I think when I was in Form 2, I used to think, am I semenya? Because here things are not happening.
To think about it, that has never been a problem, but I think it can be a problem.
It was a problem.
Especially just using social media. When you see everyone is looking good and
it's a problem. It's a problem because you want to ask yourself, what's wrong with me? And such questions that you can't ask people because then they are fine.
Yeah.
And your parents didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So you're left there in the middle and you're just asking yourself, what's wrong with me? And you'd probably find the answers in the wrong things, which will create more problems. So it's just, if you don't talk, I think all this thing about mental health is if you don't have someone to inform you and to encourage you and to reassure you, mental health, depression, that's just where you're going.
Wow. That is beautiful. Yes, Dennis, you look like you have something to say.
I really have something to say. On matter of sex education, I feel like illiteracy, let me call it illiteracy for lack of a better word, when you're not told on what is happening, especially boys, you're like, uko to form. Let me just use the example. Uko to Form 2 and you are the highest and one of everybody. and people are like wanna guruma for you. There is that lack of a self-esteem that comes with that, and I really feel like that is, to men, that is one of the most. You won't be confident when you're around people. Where what wakiongea?
You're just quiet.
Maybe you're so that takes you to your phone, makes you addicted. Then your social life dies, and I feel like if your social life dies, when you have an issue, reaching out is the hardest thing ever. So that is the great cause.
Wow. And I know one of you here is an IT personnel. Could it be you? Do you think media is actually handling mental health in a better way? Or do you think there are things that we are getting fed to that we shouldn't be consuming, and yet we are consuming them and living by them?
Oh yeah, very many. Let me start by saying this. The moment access to the media, let me put it as social media, is restricted, that is when I'll definitely know, and most of us will know that, okay, you'll get what you bargain, what is your correct age, let me put it as an age sensor, something like that. So you'll get what is for you. At the moment, you'll get everything. And this everything, there is some very much positive news, like you'll get connections, let me put it like that, so you'll get everything. But in terms of you've had somebody singing the nicest, let me just use bass again. You've had somebody singing the nicest bass ever, and you're like wondering, when will it happen? Then there comes another incident when umefika, most of us, if not, let me talk about myself. Socially, tulianza kuongea na watu recently. It's like, yeah. So uko kwa phone and you feel like people are out enjoying something, wako picnic and all that, because kila mtu wako social media, talk about Facebook, Twitter, everything. And when you see that, you feel like something is missing.
Yeah.
Something is very much missing, and you're like, what should I do you try too hard
better myself.
To better yourself. Then you try too hard, then you end up embarrassing yourself. Then from there, you're kind of like the talk of the town, and it will be worse. It's like a downhill path from there.
So actually, social media can actually exacerbate mental health for some people, whereas it can actually be a platform for others to
get help.
pour out and get help.
A recent case is, I was watching the Olympics. That is how bored I am sometimes.
Olympics are interesting.
It's actually two cases. One US Olympiad, then other Jamaican. I think it's Jamaican, the 100 meters sprint lady, not girl. The other one was Simon Biles. Simon, I don't know the pronunciation of the second name, but she's the gymnast. Yeah, she's the gymnast, and she was like very much open with what was happening to her, and ilikuwa the last step to attaining Olympic gold. And I know that is a great achievement, but she kind of felt like, I'm not in the right space, and I think that motivated many people, very many people to like see a must. Yes, see a must. Sometimes see a must. You won't like suffer when you say something. You'll actually get help as she got help, not to the extent she got, but if you like say something, there'll be something in return, definitely. Yeah.
Like they say, problem shared is half solved. Sometimes it's not actually half solved. I have seen very negative criticisms on people genuinely asking for help on media. And I feel like our role as humans, or our humanity in our human bodies, is getting out. Because somebody comes to ask or seek help on media, and all we can do is, hey! I was actually reading one of the news on Facebook, and a lady had been in a relationship for 3 weeks. And then somehow the gentleman cheated on her. And then in 3 weeks, and then she went and destroyed his property.
Wow.
And then in return, this guy went and beat her up and detoothed her. Like 2 front teeth were all out. And then in one, because I usually get to the comments section, and then people are like, oh, she looks beautiful with her smile, like, I love her courage. And the other one is like, 3 weeks and you're already vandalizing property? I mean, you even deserved more. Like, me nangoa macho.